Welcome back. This is the third part in a small mini-series because I have way too many thoughts that I just can't seem to clandestine into easily digestible format about Series 11, the new Doctor, and honestly, what else is there to say? Third part. If you didn't catch the first two parts, in the first part I discussed the companions and how they kind of relate to the story. I also discussed a little bit of the plot, how the Doctor fits into it, and what aspects I believe make the Doctor the Doctor. That was in the second part. So, in this part, we're going to talk about what I promised last time, which is how does Jodie make the Doctor her own, display all 13 traits I believe really make the Doctor, and maybe a little bit more. Unless this ends up being a 4-part quadrology. So, Jodie smashes through the roof, instantly gets up, perky, fun, happy. Very Matt Smith-esque, you might be thinking. A little bit Tennant with the sass and stuff. But there's also some, I would say, very classic elements about Jodie, and I'll get to that. But let's focus on the obvious. Right off the bat, she's scatterbrained. Just like me, you might have noticed everything I say is scatterbrained, out of the ordinary. It's off the cuff. This is how I talk. This is how I think. When I'm trying to think even faster, I start going on tangents. A little bit autistic, a little bit ADHD, a little bit just because this is who I am. This is my personality. She takes charge right away, tries to figure out what's going on, realizes there's a danger, and jumps into action, just as you'd expect the Doctor would. She feels like she's having a ball with the role. She's not, in any way whatsoever, very much intimidated. She's excited. This thing is new, it's scary, but she's kind of also interested. She wants to know exactly what this thing wants and why it's here. She's as interested as she is horrified, and she stumbles over her words, making that a point that it could be one thing or it could be another. She sort of jokes about searching for a Doctor, or maybe she's not joking. Maybe she literally forgot for a second that she was the Doctor, but who knows? It seems to me that for the most part she doesn't really have amnesia like the 12th Doctor did, but she's very much so trying to get a hold on things and trying to figure out who the heck she is. And I liked it. It instantly endeared me to her. The fact that she was in there, she was doing stuff, she was acting. Excited. She was excited for everything that was going on. A little bit afraid, but her instincts kicked in and she instantly knew she had to protect these people. She had to figure out what was going on, even though she wasn't quite sure who she was yet. This is perfect. This is what I would deem to be the kind of Doctor intro I'm glad to see, because it's a little bit familiar and it's a little bit new, and you're seeing something that you understand is out of your element, and you're not sure how to deal with it, but we're there. Big important part you're probably thinking about during the trip, because of the marketing, because of all the hate it was getting. Exactly how much do they focus on the fact that the Doctor is a woman? And you know what? I'm gonna place it right out for there, if you didn't watch it and you're watching this spoilery video because you really don't think you're willing to watch it, but for some reason you want to hear some random weirdo talk about it. And I'll tell you exactly how much they focus on the Doctor being a woman. Nothing. In fact, there's only one mention of it, and it was in the sneak preview where they ask her straight up. She calls, the one woman said, Yasmin says to her that she needs to stop taking control, that she's in danger, and that she's a cop, and she calls her madam. And the doctor turns around and she says, "Why are you calling me madam?" And Yasmin says, "Because you're a woman." And she says, "I am." "Oh, right. Does it suit me?" And that's it. That's all. That's the only mention of the Doctor being a woman that we get. And I honestly hope that's all we get. They did say that this season would be focusing on new stuff. New faces, new times. So I don't think we're going to get a lot of callback characters that know the Doctor personally. So we probably won't get anything where someone's like, "Oh, you're a woman. That's weird." And that's good, because the Doctor is the Doctor. I don't care who you are, where you come from, or what you think. The Doctor is the Doctor. The Doctor is a character that can be anyone, and should be anyone. This even has a precedent. Not in the TV show, but in the expanded universe, in the official lore, the Doctor has actually been a woman a couple times. Twice before, in fact, in the books and comics. I couldn't tell you exactly which ones, but I urge you to look it up, because it did happen, and I do think it's important to note. So if they didn't put so much pressure on it, why am I? Good question. What comes next is a series of getting to know Jodie and these companions and how they work. She instantly makes them her friends. She instantly wants to be a part of it. She instantly melds in with the cast almost effortlessly. They like her, they understand her, she knows what she's doing. They don't really believe she's an alien, which is honestly kind of silly. I mean, I understand that UNIT covers up most of the alien sightings and stuff, but to an extent, you have to understand that a lot of people, at least in the same country, are gonna have to believe that aliens are a thing. So that's a little bit sad, but whatever. It gets proven to them anyway, because Jodie has to go through her whole hypersleep thing where she heals. Anyway, they find out that they have bombs. Jodie instantly promises to figure it out and fix things. Little bit of a dick with the reformatting of the phone, but, well, hopefully he didn't have anything important on there. If it seems like I'm rambling, I kind of am, because it's hard to really state without just seeing it why I think she works so well. I think when you see her in action, she looks like she's having a ball and she knows what she's doing. She thinks up her plans as she goes along. A very Tennant thing to do. A very Smith thing to do. A very 9 thing to do. And a very 12 thing to do, in fact. And then she brings back some interesting things. A little bit later, after everything happens, we learn of a classic Who trait that has been kind of pushed to the wayside in New Who, and that's that the Doctor is a tinkerer. The Doctor likes to build things in their spare time. The first, and I believe the fourth Doctor, actually built his sonic screwdriver, so we get a nice little callback to that with the new sonic screwdriver, which at first I wasn't really big on, but seeing how it came together, how it's basically just cobbled together from spare bits and bobs that she found, and using their intelligence, like, put it together, made it out of spoons. I love that. That whole sequence, I loved it. I don't know how else to say that Jodie Whittaker feels like the Doctor to me, and I'm not 100% sold. I don't want to sound like I'm a kiss ass or anything, because I was really cynical going in. I really thought that this was probably not going to be as good. I knew it wasn't going to be as good. I was terrified it wasn't going to be as good. But it was. It exceeded my expectations, and it exceeded my hopes. So I'm hoping this continues on throughout the series, and that I don't have to make a follow-up video where I say, oh, never mind, Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor is crap. She has her moment. There's no big moment like 11 or 12, really, but there's a moment where she says and affirms that she travels wherever she goes, and she helps out whenever she can. And that's important. That's very important to me. So, you might be thinking, well, all those 13 aspects you mentioned, how do they follow into Jodie then? Isn't that the point of this whole damn thing? You're right. So let's go back through them quickly. Number 1. The caretaker. I think that one's really off the bat pretty much said. She's helping. She cares. She very much shows that although she's a bit of a wank, she cares about these people that she barely even knows, and she wants to help them, and she wants to save the day. She wants to stop whatever madness is going on, even if she's not quite in her element yet. Perfect. Number 2. Just a teeny bit alien. Well, she's like Matt Smith a lot. In her scatterbrained way, the way she forgets the names of certain things, the way she pretty much basically says, I'm an alien. Like, what's wrong with that? She thinks it's normal, and that works. That works perfectly. Number 3, takes charge of the situation. I don't think I have to really say anything for this one, but I will. She takes charge of the situation. A cop, an authority figure, comes up to her and says, you need to come this way. She says, nah. She just does her own thing, doesn't even listen to Yasmin. Pretty much becomes the leader, like, no time tomorrow. Perfect. 4, has a quirky sense of fashion. Well, did you see the outfit that she put on at the end of the episode? If that ain't quirky, I don't know what is. Number 5, pacifism. She gives the creature a chance. She never once uses a gun. Never once attempts to kill the thing. Does minorly threaten it, though. Which will be important. So we're gonna skip along, go straight to 6. Number 6. A dark side. Well, I'll be honest. She didn't really portray one yet. Not extremely. But I don't think that's a bad thing. First time you see the Doctor, you kind of need to understand who he is as a hero before you understand who she is as a morally flawed individual. So, number 7. Manipulating. You'll notice in multiple parts, she very much so does manipulate people, including the villain, who she expertly manipulates into leaving the poor sap of this episode alone, and cleverly tells him basically to screw right the hell off, and even had a plan going all the way back to when she scanned the machine. Never even mentioned the bombs in their necks. Perfect. Wonderful. 8. A little bit human. She is human. She forgets things. She frequently needs reminding of where to go or how to do things. And she has an opinion about clothing, of all things. She has an opinion about how things are going. She has an opinion. She has opinions, basically, and she seems ethically sound. She seems to, sort of weigh the pros and cons of options. She's not infallible. Number 9. Never cruel or cowardly. Well, I don't think she was cruel nor cowardly in this episode, for certainly not. Number 10. I'm forgetting what number 10 was. A hero. Well, she saved the day. Jumped right into it. Wanted to save the day immediately. Didn't just want to be caring. Didn't just want to care about these people and figure out the ones. She wanted to save the day. She wanted to be there. She wanted to do something. She saves the day. She does it well. Doesn't kill anybody. Plot's over. She saves the day. Never asks for help and plans on leaving without even anybody except those 3 individuals knowing she was even there. Perfect. 100%. Number 11. Well, if nothing else, I believe for number 11 I stated, above all things... I forgot what I said for number 11. Alright, well... I can't believe I literally forgot. Well, I think I've given enough points anyway. If I remember them, I'll get back to them. But this is what's important. These are the ways Jodie really strikes me as being the Doctor. Again, we're reaching about 20 minutes, so I think I might split it off, or I might keep this as a 40-minute long part. I don't know. I guess I'll decide midway through. In case I decide to cut it here, next time we'll discuss, or up next rather, we will discuss some of the more integral aspects. I don't think I'm going to really go into a review of this as the story, like as a storyline, because it's not really important. The storyline is serviceable. It's not fantastic, it's not wonderful, it's serviceable. It does what it needs to do, and it does it well. The music is... No. The music is really good, considering. And I'm glad it's not just pop music, because that would have pissed me off so much. And really, I don't know what else there is to say. I'm really looking forward to the next parts in the series, and I hope you all are too, because I really think this is the refresh Doctor Who deserved and needed. And I think our fears aren't misplaced, but they may be availed in time if we just give this a shot. Just like we gave Matt Smith a shot, just like we gave Eccleston a shot all that time ago. And just like all of you Classic Who fans gave each and every new Doctor a shot. Because things were always going to change. Till next time, I've been Mjax, you've been awesome, and I'll see you next time.